Welcome tankers, this is MacLogo and I'm back with a review of the Sergeant Slaughter, the T54E2, brand new premium tank, tier 8 premium heavy tank, and it's one of the wrestling tanks. It is basically the counterpart of the Renegades on PC, but there are differences. Mainly the 3-shot autoloader that they packed into this premium, which is selectable. And because it's selectable, you cannot choose a gun rammer for the single shot version. So the single shots version makes actually no sense of this tank, and you have to basically go with a 3-shot autoloader if you want to, to have success. Otherwise, you've got a really low DPM for a tank like this. Oh my god! What is this crazy sound? And this annoying sound is basically if you got the wrestling tank. I guess some of you or most of you already know. You cannot turn it down, unfortunately. But yeah. Let's look at the stats of the gun. It's a 105mm autocan or normal can that you can choose. And the aim time of the single shot is 2.5 and the accuracy is 0.38. On the autoloaded gun, the accuracy is slightly lower. It's 0.39 and the aim time is 2.9. That's the difference of the gun. But penetration 226 on AP and 255 on APCR, which is not a big deal, but we'll look at the difference later on. There's some other differences. Let's see if we can look at, have a look at the armor model of the tank. If you already look at the form here, you can see that it's pretty well rounded. It's kind of like an E6 turret. It doesn't have to have that much or that thick armor to actually bounce shots. Not shots from high pen guns or not shots from elite guns, but shots maybe from low tier. If they don't aim it, if they just auto aim, then you'll be pretty much able to bounce. The engine deck is an RT target, as also as the roof is, as for all tanks basically. 30mm standard, 38 and 40 backside and backside of the turret are HE pennable, which is good to know for Tusk drivers or HE guns. It can really hurt you. Also, the side is not that well armored, the backside, but otherwise it's pretty neat to be honest. There are small patches, that's a little bit weird on this. The tank is basically made out of patches. The tank can side scrape, normally, because the huge tracks. And if you look at the hull here, it's a patchwork. It's made out of these different parts. If you go up in armor, there are even more of these patches. The angled side here on this side is a little bit thinner than the other side. The other side is basically not angled of the turret, so it's a little bit thicker, but we'll see that later. Front lip is 152. Also, if you hit that straight on, I guess it'll also pen it. And these are just the small parts here with 170. I mean, the predominant weak spot is of course the cupola, which is huge, and you can go for that, or you can also shoot a turret ring if you have enough pen. 200 pen will go through, but if you're low tier, just hit the cupola. You'll pen basically every shot if you hit it. Like I said before, heat will basically punch through the tank at anywhere where you hit it, I guess. Maybe only the extreme bounce angles won't go through. Also, let's look at the ammo. That's one thing that I want to point out. Standard shell velocity of AP 1080 meters per second and APCR a whopping 1380 meters per second. The APCR shell may not be that high in pen with 255, but it is sure fast and it will hit a moving target if the gun wants you to hit it. So the first game I want to show you is a tier 10 game. Just to show you how it can do basically on a ridgeline as proc, and also versus high tier tanks. I have to be careful. The tank is pretty mobile for a heavy, but there's two RTs and there's a lot of guns that can do a lot of damage to my tank if I don't look after my hit points. And that's why, as with any heavy tank or other tanks, you have to play cautiously in a tier 10 game, sorry. It's not a tank that will that you can, you know, go up and show your turret or anything, and especially at the cupola. So that's I'm pushing up, trying to maybe get some shots in on a tank that is that doesn't look at us. T55 will not go through the front part of any turrets, only weak spots on high tier targets. But I think it's still very important, even with a tier 8, to get up to support your tanks here in the middle and not sit back. But our team is actually nicely spread, except for the for the lights, and our Centurion is killed by our team, unfortunately. As you can see here, the aim time is not actually that bad. It is a huge boom, but for a tier 8, 0.39, there are worse tanks. It just takes a little bit of time to aim in, but if you can get the target, it's kind of like this guy here, which is basically doomed as he crested this hill. I don't know why he do such things, but driving into autoloaders, I mean, yeah. And there were two machines here, so I wouldn't push in with any tank. Certainly they will track and kill you. But thanks for the points. Then we are going back up, trying to do some damage, get some shots in. And I think the best target here is also a dangerous one, the T57. As long as he doesn't focus me, I can put in some shots. As you can see here, it's okay. I can actually push, and I just have to watch this E100. If he pushes up, then I'm certainly not up here. But now he's looking away, so I'm just playing a little bit cautious. So keep my hit points while the opponents have already lost 3 tanks. And here you can also see if you don't aim it, so the accuracy isn't that good to hit the far shots, or you have to be very lucky. The reload is on the longer side. I think it's around 28 seconds if you take into account that I'm using cola, and also have a crew with all kind of perks. Also for the aiming, just take into account this is I think a 17 skill crew, I guess. So all kind of aiming perks are on, and they might be less good. These shots, they're far shots, you won't hit them with the gun, and that's also good to show, just that you don't expect that the tank is not made for range fights. It's actually made to peek and shoot, similar like the T57. Not as extreme. The gun will hit also further targets, and it'll aim in faster. But basically similar. The playstyle is kind of a ridgeline, peek, shoot, duck down, shoot again. Maybe if nobody aims, you get 2 shots after each other. But basically, look after your hit points. This was badly aimed, and unfortunately I was late. I didn't get the kill. But yeah. Or not the right time to get the kill. But it was an okay battle. The good thing about the 360 Alpha is with the auto you rack up the damage very fast. Basically, if you get 2 clips in, then you're almost at 2000 damage, which is nice, which is okay. I mean, at 1.8 something or so maybe also. And with the 360, it's a 105. You can basically pen 3 out of 3 if you have a target that that is pennable, not tier 10s. And so basically it's possible to get in all shots. And here you can also see the gun behave. It wasn't fully aimed, so it isn't that bad or that inaccurate as you might think for a 3.9 gun and for an autoloader. But yeah, I'm going again for reload, but I guess I won't get any damage because the tanks that are pushing up are faster and they are further. And until I'm there, I guess the heavy tank will be dead already. Let's try to get in a reload. And I basically cannot pass this guy even if I'm faster. And here I also make a mistake, so I shift targets and I'm going for this guy because maybe I can get one shot onto this guy if I'm lucky. And we take him off the board. By the way, gun depression is 10 degrees, which is very nice, good feature of the tank, which makes it very good, playable on ridge lines, and yeah, basically typical for US tanks to have good gun depression. So not a super round, but it was okay for a tier 10 game. As I said, you can rack up damage pretty fast in this tank if you can pen the shots and if you get into be able to reload it the second time. This is now a tier 8 game, or let's say a top tier game. There's only 5 tier 8 tanks, so basically if you can bully the other guys. The actually key to have a good battle in this tank is kind of the management. You shouldn't fight alone. It's because the reload of 28 seconds is just if there's 2 tanks rushing you, then you're basically dead because they'll pen you. So you have to move with other tanks, basically in a pack, get your clips in, then have them shoot, distract the enemy, reload, drive out, get your clip in, and that's the way you can also survive and rack up really a high amount of damage if it works. If your team collapses, then yeah, it's basically a little bit hard to play, as you will have to find somewhere to reload, and that's the issue most of the time. Yeah, just see this guy, I'm trying to push for them. I also read sniper view and I didn't see the AMX, but we just auto aim it and get these shots in. So here also I have to stay low, just wait, don't show the turret, stay RT safe. But as I said, as soon as the gun is reloaded, you have again that 1080 clip. If you can bring in all shots, that is nice. This is a little bit a hard target to pen, so I'm trying to shoot the cupola, and I kind of fucked up a little bit here. Only got one shot in, which is bad, and he shot me once. But we'll try to get in a second reload then, and then we'll go for that guy. If I'm near enough, then I'm pretty sure I can pen the cupola each time. So I'm checking on the hit points, and yeah, he's in my range. If I can pen the shots, and now I'm watching them, I will pen them nicely. Don't shoot any shots. Don't waste any shots. And it's just one shot, and we take him off the board. Just this was also now. I took my time. I aimed the shots, stayed calm, and it was actually the goal to, or the key to penning them. It's not like the T57. Some people just, if they see a target, they just go panic and go into auto fire and just burst out all shots, and maybe one pens of the 4 shots. If you can stay calm, aim them nicely, then you'll have success. Here we see the 53 TP, and you can also see the burst potential, as we can take this guy out of the board easily. This is actually the nice side of the tank. Just the burst potential is high. If you have friends around you and can go for reloads. Here we spot the UDES. V range is also nice, by the way. 390 meters for a heavy tank. Tier 8 heavy tank is very nice. So even with a good crew with view range skills and all that, you can basically max it out. And I use optics because you cannot fit the gun rammer, so that's why I have a very good view range. It's basically a medium tank from view range wise. That's where I can pretty much spot the guys. Yeah, I'm trying to go to the middle to burst somebody else. And here, this was exactly what I meant. That's just, you have to stay calm, aim it, and you'll pin the shot. And this is a little bit unfortunate now that this guy drove out in front of me. I guess I could have got a shot in, but anyway, we go for reloads and then go for these TDs and the RT. And I'm sneaking up below them and try to get this clip into these guys. And first I see the Citadel, so flop a shot, and yeah, this is pretty bad. So now I know these guys are peeking. I can still get one shot in. It's a good thing in this tank to think, hey, do I reload or do I shoot the last shot? Because the last shot is 360 alpha, so it's not a bit of damage. It's quite a big chunk that you can take out, and maybe you don't go that often for reloads with this tank and you keep the last shot and fire it and then go for reload. But it's a decision that you need to make on the fly if the situation comes up. So and here actually I could have bursted this guy, but you will see it. This was actually very badly played. I should have gone to the not into the sniper view, but into the normal gun view. But the RT helps me. First he bursts out the shot, and then he rams me, and I get the damage for this guy. So not a superbly played game, but just to show you how you can play this tank and how you can rack up a good amount of damage as a top tier. I think it's a fun tank, but it's not as nice as it would have been like on PC with a single shot and high VPM. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, stay safe, and bye bye.